heart if you close your eyes.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in the video. I'm going to do this question and answer. I put a post up on Instagram a couple of days ago and asked you guys to shoot me some questions and I'm going to answer them. So thanks so much for everyone that answered. I'm recording this on my phone and I've got the questions up on my Instagram on my laptop right here, so I'm going to read all of them off and I'll answer all of them. There was actually a lot of questions, thanks a lot guys. So the first one was from the boys at Twin Fitness. They asked, is this my current condition on that picture? The answer is no. This was about 6 months ago, this was in the summer. Twin Fitness again asked, what music do I listen to when doing cardio? When I'm doing cardio, I don't really listen to music. I watch YouTube videos. When I'm working out, I'm normally listening to some sort of EDM playlist on Spotify. That's my go-to there. Next one, decent shape, good. Twin Fitness again, asking how often do I train abs and what exercises do I do. On average, I haven't trained abs consistently for probably about 3 months or so. Then I normally start training them when I get deeper into a cut. I'll try and do them at least once a week. I'll do different weighted ab exercises, whether that be cable crunches or decline sit-ups with some sort of weight involved. I try and do as much resistance with my ab exercises as I can, but I haven't trained them as much as I probably should. The next one comes from BK Fitness Training. How do you become super shredded? What types of food do you eat and how long does it take to cut up and shred? It's a good question. To become shredded, you just need to be in a calorie deficit for quite some time. Obviously burning more calories than you're bringing into your body, so you need to find whatever way of eating is going to let you be in that deficit for longer while kind of keeping your training at a decent level. Types of food that I eat, I've found a bit of a combination of foods that I enjoy eating, just to make sure that I'm in that deficit. For example, I eat a lot of my staple foods. I eat a lot of ground turkey, I eat a lot of oatmeal, spinach is my go-to for my veggies, sweet potato, different rice, chicken if I can be bothered cooking it. What else? I eat a lot of Chipotle actually. Chipotle bowls is my go-to. If you can get the portion sizes small enough, that can be a bit of a go-to. Yeah, so find the structure of your day that suits you, and the best thing to do is just track your food and your weight with your workouts and see if your weight, what's your weight doing? Is it going up or is it going down? If it's going down, you're more likely in a deficit. If that's something you can stick to, you're in the right place. Baylor Fit, what's your target stage weight for your next competition? Last year I actually competed at 161 pounds, so I guess this year if I can get the same sort of condition, at hopefully about maybe 163 this time, a bit heavier on stage would be pretty good, because I definitely gave up a little bit of size last year. So we got there's Baylor. Next will be Simon at the Fit Flexible Life. You're a monster. When are Gymshark? When did you sign my friend here? What's the hold up? Yeah, I know any chance Gymshark. Thanks for that one, Simon. Next is Holden over at IV Ever Visuals. What's your favourite meal on prep that doesn't make you feel like you're dieting? Well, when I'm prepping, again, it's sort of my go-to meals is my sort of ground turkey. I can't really get away from them, but little things that I like to throw in is maybe some I like to have rice cakes with some fat-free cream, just any sort of low-calorie option. You need to get kind of creative when you're in prep. I use a lot of Walden Farms caramel sauce. Actually, my go-to, sorry, tell a lie, was this time on prep. I had sort of post-workout especially, I had vanilla Greek yogurt mixed with the peanut butter cereal milk protein from Ghost. That mixed together made this kind of like a paste, a peanut butter paste, and that was unbelievable. So I'd probably go with that actually, the Greek yogurt mixed with the peanut butter protein. That would be my go-to on prep. There we go. Jamon Gordon, what's your favourite chest workout and why? Good question. I haven't trained chest terribly heavy recently because I had a little bit of a shoulder issue, but a standard sort of chest workout would be, for me, I've not been the best at barbell bench press, so I'll miss that out. Probably some sort of incline dumbbell press after warming up, some sort of incline dumbbell press, a heavy dumbbell fly to press. So instead of a regular fly out here, I prefer to just bring the elbows out a little bit and then drop the elbows, drive it up and in. So some sort of heavy chest fly to press, cable flies, that's everyone's favourite, and then maybe just burn it out with some push-ups at the end. That gets a pretty good pump for me. That's my go-to chest workout, I would say. Joel Scott Fitness, what's your current goal within fitness? I would say just to compete again this year and bring a better physique than I have done previously. I think I've done like six competitions now, and the best I've ever finished is second in a show. So I guess my goal would be to win a show. That would be my current goal in fitness. John Pignetti, what's your biggest inspiration on a daily basis? I've been thinking about this a lot recently actually, just the general vision of where I want to go. I try and keep that in the back of my head at all times, and all the decisions that I do within a day, in terms of just consuming content that are motivational. There's Gary Vaynerchuk, Christian Guzman has been a huge motivation of mine for years and years. Zach Rushlow now, Flexible Diet and Lifestyle. I've been watching a lot of Zach's content. He's been a good inspiration of mine, especially recently. So I'd say that those are my go-to on the daily. On the daily, it's those guys. Okay, looking massive at the minute. What's your least favourite muscle to work out? I would probably say traps. I just don't really like training traps, hardly ever do it, and I probably need to do it more. I'd say traps. Traps is my least. DC Training has asked a big question here. It is, you always transmit such a positive mindset and image. Having lived and known you for years, I know it's a real deal. I think a lot of people would find it interesting learning how you maintain such a positive outlook, any steps you take through the process, tips, and how you personally deal with setbacks life throws at you. Very good question. I would say, in terms of keeping a positive mindset, I've did some jobs that I really don't like. I used to be a grave digger, I used to be a mailman, so I really didn't enjoy those, and now I've sort of got the opportunity to go and do stuff that I'm passionate about through sort of fitness and football over here in America. And I moved from Scotland, so I've got some good perspective on how lucky that I am to be able to go and do the things that I want to do now. So that is how I stay positive. My thought process is just that again. I've tried to be more grateful with sort of where I'm at and where I want to go. How I deal with setbacks, I try and put everything into perspective. So I would say that there's always going to be someone that is in a worse position than you are. I've still got my health. If anything happens, obviously I've got my health. My family's all doing awesome. So that would be how I deal with setbacks, is try and put things into perspective. The next one is, what are your short-term and long-term goals in fitness and life? Short-term goals in fitness would be compete in my next show, build a good physique. Long-term would be sort of motivate as many people as I can, and I'd like to maybe have a place of my own one day to train people and just work out, make content there. That would be a long-term goal in life. Just the same, really, just try and build a couple of companies, one in particular that I'm working on right now that I'd like to share with you guys very soon. So just grow that and help as many people as I can. That's a long-term goal in life. What's your current diet to stay lean? I'm actually going through a bit of a cut at the minute, so I'm actually sitting about 2,300 calories at the minute. Again, it's the go-tos. I've actually been doing a lot of intermittent fasting actually, so I've normally pushed my first meal out to 12 o'clock, and my go-tos are my lean turkey. Been trying to have a lot more salads recently actually, or chicken salads, sugar-free jellos, rice cakes, fat-free, Ready Whip, Halo Top, sugar-free gum, protein shakes, amino acids. Those all help sort of suppress appetite. Some Coke Zeros, White Monsters. That's all the sort of foods that bananas are my go-to fruits, sometimes strawberries. That's my go-to circulation of foods to help me stay lean. Chris G. Morales just says he can't wait till it's not a quest to be a Gymshark anymore. And you are a Gymshark, that's awesome, thanks for that, Chris. Oh, so it's Callan Gaddy. What should teen bodybuilders do so they can be a beast in 2 years of training? I would say, to see the most progress in 2 years, I would say find a program or two and stick with it for a good few months before changing. My biggest tip would be, well, get your nutrition in line, track your progress in the gym to ensure overload, so the weights that you're lifting and the exercises that you're doing, keep a track on a little notepad or even on your phone, so that over time you can look back and ensure that you're progressing in your lifts. I would say just consume as much content as you can. There's so much information on YouTube. Just find the right people, good educated people on YouTube, etc., and consume some of their knowledge and apply it. That would be my main advice. And just work on your staple lifts to get a good foundation going. That's what I would say there for a teen bodybuilder. Food and training, and track a lot of stuff. See where you can progress. What else we got? Next is Chase Cutchell. What's your favourite training split you've used? I really did enjoy the push-pull legs, split, and I like to periodise it with my best sort of period of training was a push-pull legs with 1 strength week, 2 hypertrophy weeks, and a sort of, not a deload week, but a contraction week. That was my favourite training split when I saw the most progress. I really enjoyed that. My best cheat meal is pizza, probably a chicken, pepperoni and barbecue pizza from Pizza Hut or Domino's. What are your thoughts on meal timing? How do you structure yours throughout the day? Meal timing, I would say, applies more to people in different situations. So if someone was really overweight, I would maybe try and get into the habit of having a specific meal timing in a more structured way. Someone that's trying to lose a lot of body fat, I've found a lot of success when there's kind of a structure to their meal, eating slightly regular throughout the day. Now, someone that's more not losing body fat for health reasons, I would say someone that's maybe looking for more an aesthetic look, I think meal timing perhaps takes less relevance. For example, I'm working on intermittent fasting, so I tend to push my meals out to the middle of the day. I used to not be able to do that because I always wanted breakfast, but now I've been able to push it to later in the day, so I've got a smaller eating window, so then consume less calories and I'll lose less body fat. There's also meal timing can come into relevance if you're talking about when you're fueling around training. So it's important to perhaps have your carbs around your training so that your performance is going to be lifted and you can perform better in the gym. So meal timing in that way can be pretty important. The next question, I'm skipping through some of these comments. Joe Gray, my man, how bad do you want this? I want it bad. How long have you been training? I have been training solid for probably, this is me going in, about to start my 5th year of training. So I started lifting properly in a third of the way, or a quarter of the way through 2013. That was after I stopped playing football. I played football for pretty much my whole life, and then stopped when I was about 23. So yeah, about 4 years, coming on to 5 in lifting. What else we got? Actually, that is the last question. So thank you so much, guys. It looks like a bit of a 15-minute video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If you're watching it on Facebook, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one.
But if you close your eyes,